Hello, everyone, and welcome to another webisode of the Fund It Fast Chats. I'm Rochelle Butler of the San Joaquin Valley Clean Energy Organization. We appreciate you joining us yet again, where we take complex funding and financing concepts and distill them down into bite-sized bits to help you get your projects done. For the month of August, across all of our channels, we will be focused on all things finance. We will be dropping a ton of content this month, including extra webisodes of the Fund It Fast Chats, so you won't want to miss out on that. Today, I have a very special guest. If you are a friend of the chat, you have watched her on prior webisodes. I would like to welcome back Amanda Homa of Parakeet Project Development. Welcome to the Fast Chats, Amanda.
Thanks, Rochelle. It's great to be here.
We're really excited to have you again. Parakeet Project Development is quickly becoming the go-to agency for technical assistance for on-bill financing, and they have an amazing track record for getting projects approved and moving through the program. Amanda is here to share some very exciting developments with the on-bill financing program. Amanda, can you give us a high-level overview of the newest development with the OBF program?
Absolutely. Yeah. So on-bill financing has historically been an energy efficiency program. So it's there to fund energy reduction projects, lighting, HVAC, the stuff you're really used to listening to. But they have just expanded the offering to include clean energy. So specifically, you're able to get on-bill financing to support battery storage and EV charging stations.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And it is very exciting news. Our partners have been inquiring about clean energy projects for quite some time now. So we're really excited about the expansion of the program to include these types of projects. For
Yeah.
anyone who is new to the Fund It Fast Chats, I would like to add very quickly here that we've covered on-bill financing a ton, and we've done that because we believe in the program. It's a really great opportunity. I mean, who doesn't enjoy 0% financing? So if you
Exactly.
want to watch, right, if you want to watch any of our past webisodes on-bill financing, we will include links below this video so you don't have to go searching for them. We will also include links to any other resources related to our conversation today. So let's dive in. I want to quickly set the table, maybe get a little technical here because I want to be sure folks understand what projects are applicable and how to take advantage of the program. So,
Mhm.
Amanda, can you give us an overview of what qualifies a project for the OBF Expansion to Clean Energy program? First, let me make sure I got that title of the program correct, right? Because we also,
Absolutely.
yeah, we also, it's also known as the Clean Energy Financing Opportunity, or CEFO, for those that love an acronym.
Exactly.
Does that sound
Yep.
about right?
You got it. Yeah, yeah. This is so fresh. Folks have been asking for, fact sheet marketing materials. Those aren't even out yet. So you're hearing it first here on Fund It Fast Chats. But yes, we're referring to it as Clean Energy Program, CEFO, as Rochelle mentioned, Clean Energy Financing Opportunity. It's all tacked on to the greater on-bill financing program, though. So that's important to keep in mind. This is an expansion to what has already existed as OBF. But to get into a little bit of those technical elements, if we could,
Yeah, go
yeah,
for
should I
it.
go? Okay, all right. But to get into some of those technical elements that Rochelle was mentioning, there are some things to keep in mind. So, because this is still an on-bill financing program, the original requirements still apply. That means that you do need to have an energy efficiency scope of work in order to qualify to then tack on a clean energy opportunity to that project. So, what this means is, let's say you have a $150,000 lighting LED retrofit project scoped out, ready to go, and you're using on-bill financing. Well, that means you can technically qualify for $150,000 to support clean energy. So it can match. So that could either go towards the battery storage or towards EV charging stations. So you can still do energy efficiency on its own, but if you're doing clean energy, you have to have energy efficiency on there as well. Because PG&E understands that the timeline for an energy efficiency project to close out is different from the timeline of a clean energy project to close out, Lighting can get installed much faster than an EV charging station, for example. We do still submit one on-bill financing application, but there can be two separate loans. So that means that once your example lighting finishes installing, you can actually receive the on-bill financing loan funds for that part of the scope while you're still installing the clean energy part. Once the clean energy part closes out, then you get the portion to cover that clean energy. So they're finding a way to make everything work in harmony there. But just to talk a little bit more too about the specifications of battery storage and EV chargers. So much like anything else with these programs, there are some equipment requirements. So for battery storage, it's good to be familiar with SGIP, which some folks already are. SGIP is the Self-Generation Incentive Program. SGIP still exists. The website is being used as a resource for the on-bill financing program. So on SGIP, you'll find an equipment list, and that covers what battery storage equipment is eligible. It's also important to know that for battery storage, you do need to use a project developer who is approved on the SGIP developer list, as Parakeet is. And of course, like everything else, the installer themselves, they need to be certified and have active relevant licenses. That should be a no-brainer at this point, right? In regards to EV charging stations, there are also equipment lists for that. And we're actually using SCE, that's Southern California Edison's approved list for the EV chargers. So links to both of those, I believe, will be available after this Fund It Fast chat. So you can take a look at that. So the key takeaway here is that if you have an EE project, you can tack on a clean energy project, and they don't necessarily need to close out together. You'll receive funds for both things individually.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Amanda. And you did mention the program is very new. So this is
Yeah,
the hot take, hot off the
it
press,
is.
which is awesome. And I'm really excited to be able to talk about it in its beginning stages on the Fast Chat. And my next question for you might be a little difficult because the program's so new. Um, and to be completely candid with everyone out there listening, there are some details that are still being ironed out. So there are some, growing, I don't want to call them growing pains, but just some lessons that are being learned along the way, I guess. But in your experience thus far working with the program, can you give our partners some guidelines or dare I say advice that would help them kind of prepare for the program?
Absolutely. And I love how, Rochelle, how you teed that up because it's so true. With any new program iteration, there will be some things that need to be ironed out, especially with a program like this. So if you think about it, we are now joining the on-bill financing department of PG&E with the clean energy departments of PG&E. Anytime you've got multiple departments working, of course, that increases collaboration, the need for closer communication. So the advice that I would give to folks is this. Um, Remember the benefits of on-bill financing. The benefit is a 0% interest loan. You cannot get that anywhere else. People ask me all the time, what's the catch with on-bill financing? There's no catch, but there are these requirements, and that means that there could be a little longer waiting period before you get an approval on your loan. But that's why keep the benefit in mind because the benefits are real. Just maybe mentally prepare and of course discuss with your contractor, your installers, make sure everybody's on board with again, a slightly longer approval timeline. Something else to keep in mind about the timing too. So if you have a lighting project, and again, we're just using that as an example for energy efficiency scopes, you have a lighting project, you get the approval, you finish installing it. You have 2 years to finish installing the clean energy portion. So that's a decent amount of time, but it's just still something to keep in mind because you will have to take care of the infrastructure, of course, the equipment itself, getting a permission to operate from PG&E, all these nuances that are new to everybody involved, really. So a little bit of patience and keeping in mind that ultimate benefit of what you're achieving. It's a great goal that you're after. So just keep in mind this is the best way to achieve it. And definitely find a contractor who is experienced with the technology that you are pursuing. I really want to emphasize that point. We work with a variety of contractors, and some of them can do many different things. Others are eager to try different things. But if you're looking at EV chargers or you're looking at battery storage, you really want to make sure you have somebody who is well versed in that technology specifically. That way, you know you're getting scoped on exactly the capacity that you need for your location. That'll make everything go smoother during the application process as well.
Those are very good things to keep in mind. And thank you so much for going through that with us. We believe that it's worth we believe that the program is definitely worth, the wait because again,
Mhm.
with OnBF, I mean, strictly from a finance point of view, it's literally cheaper to borrow the money at 0% and keep, those monies available for you to do other things as an
Mhm.
agency or a business. So we think it's a really amazing opportunity. We want to see the program continue to grow and serve as many people as possible. I would like to say, kind of as a final thought to our conversation this morning, in my experience, people get super excited about clean energy projects primarily because they're so visible to the public. So it's an easy win. Um, but I just would like to reiterate that energy efficiency should always come first, as Amanda was kind of alluding to earlier.
Mhm.
We had a wonderful time with another gentleman on a prior episode. On a prior webisode of the Fund It Fast Chat, and he had a really great way to phrase that concept. So he said, the rule is always to reduce before you produce. So I hope he doesn't mind if I borrow that. But I think it's a really good thing to kind of remember. So, Amanda,
Mhm.
do you have any other final thoughts or anything you would like people to take away from our
Mhm.
conversation today?
Yeah, well, Rochelle, I think you made an excellent point. And I do want to mention that this expansion, although this is new, when we mention it might be a little difficult to navigate at first, this is a really good sign for the program itself. This means that PG&E has had a successful on-bill financing program for several years. This means the CPUC is supporting this program. They want it to continue succeeding and evolving to meet the needs of the customers. So this is a great sign. Are they funding solar right now? They're not. I do want to throw that in because sometimes that gets misconstrued. But could they potentially in the future? We don't know where this will lead. This is a great step forward into the clean energy world. One other thing that I do want to mention is a reminder that on-bill financing still requires a trade professional. So you do need to work with a trade pro who's authorized by PG&E to submit on-bill financing applications. And again, Parakeet is one of those. Right now, there aren't many trade pros who have experience with the solar uh, there aren't many trade pros who have experience with the EV chargers or the battery storage. There are some, but it can be hard to find the overlap in the skill set and expertise that's needed to now do on-bill financing, energy efficiency, and clean energy. So it's great to make connections with folks who are willing to collaborate and to work together to fill those shoes on all fronts. And that's something that Parakeet we love doing. So if you have a contractor who's ready to go with clean energy initiatives, but they don't know OBF, that's okay. You can work with somebody like us. You can find lighting contractors who can then do the energy efficiency part. So I just want to reiterate that synergy is super important for the success of these programs and the success for these future energy goals.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us again. We
Yeah, it's my
always love
pleasure.
Yeah, we always love having you on the Fast Chats. I would like to thank everyone for joining us. If you have any follow-up questions, we would love to hear from you. You can connect with us on any one of many platforms. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. You can find us anywhere you get your podcasts, or you can check out our website at sjvceo.com, where there's tons of other resources including our monthly playlists. Thanks again, everyone. Until next time.